In the deep, ominous forest, where trees seemed on the verge of coming to life and turning into living creatures, lived a lone hunter named Jake. He spent his days hunting for game and gathering wood for his modest home, far from civilization. One night, when the sinister fog enveloped the forest, Jake heard strange rustlings and moans coming from the depths of the woods. He initially dismissed it as ordinary sounds of the wild, but as the night grew darker, the sounds became louder and more horrifying. Unable to remain indifferent, Jake decided to search for the source of these sounds. Armed with his rifle, he fearlessly ventured deeper into the forest, feeling the pressure of darkness and gloom closing in around him. Suddenly, he saw something that made his heart stop with terror. Amidst the dark trees stood a sinister creature, with weathered fur and dark eyes emitting a green glow. Its roar pierced the silence of the forest, causing the air to vibrate around. Terrified, Jake knew that the creature he saw did not belong to this world. It was something dark and ancient, awakened from its slumber by the deep secrets of the forest. Hiding in the shadows, Jake fled, knowing he had to warn others about the creature that had awakened. But as he ventured further away from that place, he heard the same rustlings and moans following him, like demons ready to snatch him and drag him into darkness forever. Every evening, as the shadows of the forest grew denser and more ominous, Jake heard the creature's moans surrounding his home, as if calling him to join them in their endless darkness. He closed the doors and windows, but the voices continued to penetrate through the cracks, filling his home with horror and despair. One night, when the moon shone brightly in the sky, Jake decided to answer the call and set out to search for the source of these sounds. He took his lantern and stepped into the darkness, unaware of what awaited him in the depths of the forest. As he ventured forth, the shadows grew denser and the rustlings grew louder. Suddenly, before him stood the dark creature, contorted in an unnatural pose, its eyes gleaming like coals in the darkness. Jake trembled but did not retreat. He knew he could not allow this creature to capture his soul. With a prayer on his lips, he entered into battle with the darkness, fighting for his life and his sanity. But the longer he fought, the brighter the flame of his lantern burned, and the thicker the shadows became. Eventually, he felt the darkness beginning to consume him, as it had already consumed other souls in this accursed forest. With his last effort, he raised his lantern higher, its light piercing the darkness, dispersing it and driving it back into the abyss. The creature vanished into the darkness, and Jake returned to his home, knowing that his battle with the darkness had only just begun, and the next evening would bring a new battle for his soul. The following night, when Jake heard the same moans and whispers from the forest, he resolved to unravel the mystery of this cursed place. Armed with his hunting skills and the courage that sustained him in the darkest hours, he set out into the depths of the forest. As he ventured deeper, the forest grew denser and darker, as if engulfing him in its embrace. But Jake did not falter. He continued on, his heart filled with determination to uncover the secrets of this place. Finally, he reached a deep crevice in the earth, from which emanated the same moans. He descended into the darkness, gripping his lantern tightly. The deeper he descended, the louder the moans became. Eventually, he emerged into a spacious underground chamber, illuminated by a green light, as if reflecting the very essence of darkness. And at the center of the chamber stood the creature, its dark eyes staring directly at Jake, as if piercing his soul. It resembled the one he had seen before, but its presence here, in the depths of the earth, made him realize that it was something much older and more sinister. Gripping his knife, Jake rose to his feet, ready to confront this ominous creature and uncover the forest's secrets. But the shadows grew thicker, enveloping him like icy mist, and he realized that his strength was fading. Then he summoned all his inner strength and courage, directing his lantern toward the creature, challenging the darkness that surrounded him. And in that moment, he knew that the true battle had begun. The creature let out a piercing roar, its voice echoing through the underground chamber like the echoes of nocturnal nightmares. Jake felt the darkness trying to consume him, but he did not let it take hold. Through sheer willpower and courage, he continued to shine his lantern, like a fire steadily driving back the darkness. The creature fought against his light, its form blurring, as if dissolving into nothingness. Finally, with one last effort, Jake stood tall, his lantern shining brighter than ever before. He stared directly into the creature's eyes and uttered the final words of his prayer, invoking light and goodness in this sinister corner of the world. The darkness surrendered, shattered by the power of his faith and determination. The creature vanished into the darkness, leaving Jake alone in the empty underground chamber. He emerged back to the surface, freed from the shadow that had held him in its embrace for so long. Since then, he became the guardian of the forest, protecting it from the dark forces that sought to return. And his story became a legend, reminding everyone of the power of faith and courage in the face of darkness.